Hey guys, so tonight I'm gonna make uh, homemade biscuits. Now this is the southern style. I don't know any other way to make biscuits. Anyway, I've got a rather good sized bowl here, and what I did is I just put flour in it, and then took my hand and made me a little bowl in there of flour. And I don't measure anything, so that's one gloping handful of grease, lard, whatever you prefer to use, plus a half of another one. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this on this tripod that's not wanting to cooperate with me. Anyway, we're going to use 1 glass of milk. Pour that in, just like that. And then you're just going to take your hand, which I have washed my hands. I'm a fanatic about washing my hands when I'm cooking. And you're just going to mix the grease. Start mixing the grease and the milk together. And as you go, you're going to slightly turn your bowl, knock off just a little bit of flour down in there, and keep mixing. Turn the bowl, knock off the flour, keep mixing. Okay? And we're going to keep doing this till we get us a good dough formed in here. And once we do that, we're going to form them into biscuits and put them on the pan. So I'm going to keep doing this, which doesn't take very long. My only problem is I have to heat my milk up because this cold stuff right here, oh, it really hurts my hand very badly. And I usually heat my milk just a tad in the microwave. You just want to knock the chill off. You don't want it warm. So I'm going to add just a little bit more flour, and I'm using self-rising white lily flour with this. And we're going to keep mixing. Mix, mix, mix. And give me just a little more flour. Okay? And we're going to keep pulling it from the sides like I told you before. Turning the bowl and pulling from the sides. Keep mixing. Now, one thing I do want to caution you about when you're making homemade biscuits is not to overwork your dough. If you do, your biscuits will turn out tough. You do not want your dough overworked. Hold on, I got a pot boiling over on the stove. Okay. I grew up watching my mom make biscuits, and when she goes to make her biscuit part out and put it on the pan, she can do it, I don't know, I've never seen anything like it. Like in 2 seconds, she's got a biscuit made out. She doesn't have to fold hers over and stuff, but I do. Anyway, we're going to keep mixing. And my hand's hurting, so I got to put some warm water on it. Okay, back to the mix. Put just a little bit more tad flour on there. Get both my hands floured up because I'm getting back down to the part where I can quit mixing and start forming biscuits, okay? Now you can tell how a lot of that flour's been pulled from the sides in there. Still a good bit on the bottom, and you want to keep that because you're going to have to, at this point, you want to pull that flour from the bottom and pull your dough over and pat that dry flour on top of your dough ball. Okay? And we are now ready to start forming our biscuits. So I'm going to wash my hands off good because I always like to do a clean start with that. And flour them down good, and I'll be back in just a minute and show you how to do it. There we go. Okay, so I've got clean hands, and I'm going to flour my hands down good. And all I do is grab about this much dough. Okay? Hands are floured good, and we're just going to take it, and you're just going to fold it over just a few times and pat around the edges to make it all pretty and smooth, and put a little bit of flour on it. Flop it back and forth. Perfect little biscuit. Okay. Just keep repeating this process. Folding it over. Like I said, you don't want to do it too many times or your biscuits will come out tough. And I like my biscuits light and fluffy. Alright. Another. Always keep your hands floured. Turn the dough over a few times. And I always wait till I get a place where there's no cracks or crevices in it. And that's when I smooth it out and put it on the pan. Real simple. 3 ingredients. Makes good biscuits. And I prefer to use buttermilk. However, I didn't have any buttermilk this time, so I just used regular sweet milk. But my white lily flour I love white lily flour. Okay, I'll just keep turning. And I'm going to make this whole pan of biscuits right here, and I'll come back to you and show you what they look like before I stick them in the oven. Okay? Be back in a bit. Okay, 1 pan of homemade biscuits ready to go into the oven, which I'm going to have to wait a little while because I've got pork ribs in the oven right now. But when you get ready to cook these, you need to cook them at 450 degrees. And Lord, I don't know how long. I always just pull them out when they get good and golden brown. So maybe I'll time it this time and let you know. See you in a bit. We're almost there. I'm going to let them brown just a little bit. Okay, 1 pan of homemade biscuits done. Brown slightly. And I always throw a clean kitchen towel over my biscuits to keep them good and moist and fresh. That's it, guys. See ya.